everyone, welcome to Life with Jane and Foodie Friday. So what are we doing today? Well, today I'm doing a recipe which was given to me by a friend, and she made some and tried it and thought it was delicious. So we are making an apple, almond and pecan tray bake. That's the recipe if you want to just sort of catch it. Sorry, my tripod's showing in the thing. And what we need to start off with is, so preheat the oven to 180 degrees or gas mark 4, and then line a tin, which is about 20 centimetre square tin, with baking parchment, which I've done on there. Okay, in a mixing bowl, using a wooden spoon, mix together eggs, sugar. So eggs, we have, let's get my eggs out and see, I'm probably going to have to use 2 actually. So we need 4 eggs. So now I kept saying doing it in a bowl, but I know that these are fresh ones. So 1, 2, 3, and then I just need 1 more. Hold on a second, grab my 4th egg. Let me just get my 4th egg. Okay, so 4 eggs. So it's quite a rich recipe, but you know, again, for a treat, I'm always turning around and saying about doing things that are for treats. It's a good idea for a treat. So let me take a fork, and we need to just make sure that these are all loosened up. So mix together egg, sugar, almond, vanilla, ground almonds. So, right, so that's the eggs. Now I've got to mix that up with, I'm doing the recipe because it's the first time I've done it, so I'm doing it with you because it was delicious. So mix together the eggs, sugar. So sugar, what have I done with? Right, there's the sugar. I've got everything in bowls. So that's the sugar. So we've got to mix up the sugar, eggs, sugar, until smooth. So, because it's like a batter evidently. So let's mix that up together. Now while I'm doing that, so that was, how much sugar was that? That was 200 grams of sugar. And then you can use some almond extract and then vanilla paste. Now, I don't use vanilla paste. I'll show you what I use and how I do it. So I need to take myself out a little plate. So let me move this to one side for a minute so you can see. Now, this is a vanilla pod, and what I like to do is, I like to take it with, and you can do it with a spoon or a knife. I'm going to try and do it with this knife, and you literally have to just scrape out the vanilla pods, and that gives you your vanilla essence. So I'm just taking that out. So you cut it in half and you've got lots of lovely vanilla paste in on here. It's difficult to do it underneath the camera, but you just take out the vanilla like that, and then that can go straight in. So I'm going to do that in there. It's lovely, you know, when you see the little flecks in in ice cream. Well, that's what it is. So I'm just making sure that I can put all of that in. that all in together. When I get all the other ingredients in, it'll work out quite well. So that's those ones: eggs, sugar, vanilla extract together until smooth. Add the ground almonds. So ground almonds. So ground almonds here. We have the ground almonds are 100 grams of ground almonds. So let's add them. And what else? Ground almonds, flour, baking powder and melted butter. So flour, baking powder. What do we need with baking powder? A teaspoonful. We grab my baking powder. Baking powder or baking soda? Bicarb, baking powder. Come on, where's my baking powder? You know, when I say I always have it out and then I don't have it out. There it is, baking powder. Right, gracious me, it's just started pouring with rain. So baking powder, a teaspoonful. So let me just get the lid off of this. There's me with my, oh, sometimes that it's very difficult, isn't it, when you have problems with your hands. There we go. So is it a teaspoon of baking powder? So let me just get a teaspoon, and we need a teaspoon of baking powder, so that can go in there. Okay, so we then need to melt the butter. Now I'm just going to put the butter into the microwave while I'm mixing the rest of this up. Just going to put that on for a little bit. So I'm going to just start mixing some of this up. I've got the melted butter to go in as well. So we mix all of this up. Ground almonds, flour, baking powder, melted butter. Let's see how this melted butter is doing. It hasn't quite melted yet. Let's just mix this up as we're going. Yes, it is going to be quite a loose batter, but that's fine. You can just see as you're mixing it up. So that's flour, ground almonds, and as I say, it's quite a rich one. But if you remember, I bought all of these from my sweet treats haul, which if you didn't see, look back on, because Lidl do some really delicious ground almonds and pecan nuts and things, and they are really inexpensive. So they're one of the best places to go. Right, hold on, let me just make sure that I've got that. Okay, so that's my melted butter. So I just need to put the butter in. So and melt it. It gives it more of a, make sure I don't waste any. And then I can mix this all up. That will just come in nicely, and as I say, it does make quite a loose batter. So I'm just going to mix this through. Now I'm doing this with a fork, but you can do it, as they said, with a wooden spoon, but I tend to use what I've got. So, and it'll take a little while to just incorporate everything through, but you can see it's coming through nicely, because what I would have probably done is to take the butter first and put that in before the flours, but it really doesn't matter because it's a batter. So let's just make sure that we've incorporated all of that in. Oh, my arm's getting tired. Do it the other way around. Can I be ambidextrous? Yes, I can. Okay, so keep stirring this around until we've incorporated it all, which we should have done. Okay, now we have to mix together until combined. Core and cut the apples into 1 centimetre dices, then stir into the mixture. Oops, sorry, banging my head against the camera. I have to have it low enough so you can see it properly, but it does mean that I do sometimes knock my head. So, right, that's beautiful like that. So, now we need to add the apple. And we need to add the apple with the chopped pecans. These are the chopped pecans. Okay, so apple, chopped pecans. Pull the butter. Flaked almonds. Right. Okay, so you mix all of this up together into the batter mixture. So let me just tell you how much that was. It was 2 apples, and you put 1.5 of the apples in the mixture, and you save half to go on the top. So that's the mixture done. Let's just double check. So add the ground almonds, yes, flour, baking powder, melted butter, mix together until combined, core and cut 2 like that, then stir the mixture along with the chopped pecans. Right, so that's all in there. Pour the batter into the tin, and then we arrange all the other pieces on top. Okay, so that's got to go in there. So I need to pour this in, pour it in on the centre. Now I'm going to have to get a spoon for this bit. Hold on, let me just grab a spoon so I can take the rest of the mixture out. And I did weigh everything out on this one. You know, I said I normally use my big spoon, which is this one, which I do use most of the time. However, if I'm doing something that I haven't done before, I follow the recipe, and as this recipe was given to me by a friend and it looked so delicious, I thought, right, let's give it a go. So that's the mixture in on top, and as I say, it's quite a soft batter, but that's fine. So then we need to arrange the apple pieces across the top. Probably, actually, because we would need flaked almonds, so we put flaked almonds across the top. Let's do it this way round. So flaked almonds across the top. Like that. Now it says like 100 grams, but I think that's probably a bit much actually. So I think that's probably about right. I just want to make sure I've got some in on the side. Okay, then we've got pecans, so I can put these pecans in as well. So we can decorate that in, and then put the apples sort of in between, I think would work. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? So a row of apple like that, and then put the pecans in, put that across. Just trying to take half pecans so they look quite nice. Then another little row of apple. Like that. So I can can take it across there actually, can't I? So you can cut your apples whichever way you want. I've cut them small because the dish isn't that huge. So, and I can always sort of add a few more in there or not, as the case may be. I love pecans, so I'm happy to put more pecans in on there. Let me just put these in over the top, and it is a good idea, I think, to put it over the top of the ground almonds like this. Across that way. So you need just enough sort of to decorate it nicely and make it look sort of quite pretty. I could just put these last little bits of apple up in on here like that, and then we'll just see. So then you put it in the oven for, and we will be back to see it afterwards. I'm just adding it like that. So that's it all decorated, and then you put it in the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. So I'll be back then to show you the finished article. Well, welcome back. I've just taken it out of the oven. It took nearer to 45 minutes than 35 minutes, but it's cooked. The only thing I would say is that some of the pecan nuts have just caught a little bit. They're not burnt, but they're just a little overdone. So would probably actually leave those off, keep the flaked almonds on, and I'd probably do the pecans afterwards and put them over, and then do a drizzle of sort of honey or something over the top. Make it a little sweeter, but as I say, they caught. Might be my oven, it might be a bit you know, warmer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slice out of this so we can just actually see. Let me come around here to do it. So I'm going to cut, still very hot, because I like to do it as warm as I can. And again, you know, you can do this with custard, with well, whatever you want actually. So I'm cutting, it's probably a bit of a big slice actually, but I can take this out first because we've got the apple in. And as I say, I would wait for it to cool completely, but I wanted to show you it quite warm. Now I need to get a plate, don't I, to make sure that I can take this out and take it down like this. Right, wait a second while I just grab a plate. I can use one of these ones. So are we on here with a plate? Yes we are. Let's just do that from there. So I'm going to take a slice out. It's a very big slice. I wouldn't have a slice quite as big as that. Let me just make sure that I've done it to there. The first one is always more difficult to take out, isn't it? Right, is it going to come out? Come on. Oh, I've probably just gone into, that's why I've gone into the greaseproof paper underneath. There we go. Oh yes, that looks lovely. That's why it wasn't coming out. I've gone into the greaseproof paper underneath, but that is the texture in. You can see, hope it's not too hot. Very, very moist. I'm going to have a little taste so we can just see what it's like. This is right from the centre. So as I say, wait for it to cool completely because I think it's going to be very, very hot. But we'll try. Oh yes. Very, very, very hot. But, oh, excuse me. The apple is absolutely delicious. So, a real success. Lovely recipe. I will put it underneath for you. Nice Foodie Friday. Again, I will freeze some of this because it's the sort of thing that then I can eat over several weeks or so and have it with custard and things like that, or even ice cream. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.